demeaning, hurtful, insulting, a two-fingered salute to an entire generation. Minister, these are the words that people are using to describe the decision by your government to share a video advising people how to cope with moving back into the family home.
Moving back in with family after living out of home can take some time to get used to.
Here are some steps that you can take to make the transition easier for you and your family.
I know SpunOut helped with this video, a very good organisation that does great work, and it's no reflection on them or the young people in the video, but it shouldn't be left to a youth organisation to clean up Féin and Fine Gael's mess. But the decision by this government to share this video has caused fierce anger. The video suggests that those forced to move back in with their parents should help around the house so that they will be viewed as adults.
Help out around the house. It can be easy to revert to your former roles if you move back in with family. However, agreeing to take on some household chores is beneficial for everyone involved. Not only will it lighten the workload for your family, but it will also help you feel more independent and encourage them to see and treat you as an adult.
Now, God Almighty, Minister, how patronising is that? Did anybody in government look at this video before it was shared in the official platforms by the Department of Housing? Did anybody think about how people would react? 2 weeks ago, I stood here in Leader's Question and I raised the case of a young couple forced to move back into their parents' house. They were forced to do that because they couldn't afford the rent any longer. A couple that's now planning to head to Australia. Last night, I was thinking about them. And I was thinking about the hurt that they would feel after seeing this video. But they're not alone, Minister. The hard reality is that 2/3 of 18 to 34-year-olds are still living with their parents. The number of young people forced to live with their family is increasing at a faster rate than any country in Europe. And why? Because under your government, home ownership has collapsed for an entire generation.
In the first instance, this video and the information campaign is not a direct Department of Housing campaign, and it is something that you've said yourself has been developed by SpunOut, Ireland's youth information and support platform, and the housing agency who've ran this campaign. And it was developed by young people and is based on their experiences.
Minister, you're not listening and you're not hearing. You don't understand, do you, what it feels like if you're in your 20s or 30s or even 40s, and you're that person that is forced to move back in to your parents' house, that you're that person that is now in the box room, and the Department of Housing shares a video which talks about maybe you should do the dishes when you're at home so that you'll be seen as an adult. Can you understand how hurtful that is? How hurtful, the lack of hope that is out there? Minister, when I was in my 20s, I was married. I built my house. I had my first 2 children. There's an entire generation out there whose lives are on hold, or worse still, an entire generation out there that are no longer here because they have lost hope. They have lost hope under Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael because they see that house prices are runaway prices. They see what you are doing, what rents and you are going to push them up further. They see that home ownership has collapsed and they have given up. So can I ask you, Minister, do you accept that the Department of Housing releasing that video, sharing that video, was hurtful to so many people who, under your policies, have been forced to move back in to their parents' box room?
It was made by SpunOut, a youth organisation. It was not the particular video was not something that was made by the Department of Housing. It was made by SpunOut, a youth organisation in the state. So just to be clear on that, I'm absolutely clear that I want to ensure young people build a future here, have a future here with well-paid jobs and with more social and affordable homes built right across our country, and managing the economy in a way that they have a future here into the long term, something you just take for granted every time you get up and down when it comes to finance issues. So my message is absolutely clear. We want them to build a future here, and our commitment is there in the National Development Plan, between Exchequer and non-Exchequer funds, nearly 50 billion across all the enabling infrastructure and subsidy for housing support, the central priority that we made in the new National Development Plan, so people can build a future in this country. And that's why we want to ramp up housing supply with the other interventions that we've made.
Minister. And in a move that is beyond satire, the state is even funding the excellent SpunOut organisation to advise young people by video on how to cope with a move back to their parents' house. when it's your government that has priced them out of the rental and purchase market. It would be comical if it wasn't so serious, because 80% of the population are priced out of renting and 60% cannot afford to buy a house on their salary.